Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode here in the Parenting with Understanding podcast. We are going to talk about the topic of helping ourselves feel in a lot more ease when our children are not following their daily routine. I'm going to be guiding directly a mom. Her name is Alexandra. She has two teenagers and she struggles with communicating her needs and feelings assertively because she gets so frustrated and annoyed and perhaps angry when her daughter, her teenager, doesn't go downstairs on time to go to school on time. So you are going to come with me as I coach this beautiful mom towards feeling a lot more calm, at peace, and especially having a different perspective of what that behavior means to her as a mother and how she can best address the situation so things don't escalate to yelling. But before we go there, I want to say that I'm so excited because today we released our Navigating Feelings Toolkit for children 2 to 19 years old. So, this is a complete toolkit to help your children understand their emotions, process their emotions, and communicate their emotions so they gain emotional intelligence and reduce aggression, because a lot of the times aggressive responses from our kids stem from them not understanding and communicating their feelings assertively. So this is a toolkit. Yes, it comes with posters, it comes with worksheets, it comes with conversational prompts of what to say broken down by ages from 2 to 19 years old, what to say to your kids when they are having big feelings, what to say to your kids when you want them to understand their big emotions a lot better, and what to say to your kids so they communicate those emotions assertively. So for Father's Day week, we are having a big lunch sale. It is a $10 product. And for this week only, you can grab it for $3. Yes, just for $3. All you have to do is go to hicparenting.com or open the description, and the link is there for you to grab your Navigating Big Emotions toolkit. Now let's go and help Alexandra feel a lot more peace managing her child's behaviors in the morning. Hi, Alexandra. How are you? How can
I'm
I
doing
help you
great. How are
today?
you?
I'm doing great. How can I help you today? Tell me a little bit more
So
about you,
I
your
have
parenting.
I have two kids. My son is gonna be 15 and my daughter is gonna be 14. I live in New York and I'm trying to give my kids as much as I can. I had recently separated from my husband last year. So it's been super hard on the kids. And in addition to it's just I personally feel that the kids are, entitled and they don't want to do anything. And it's like, if it's not an instant satisfaction, it's like super hard.
So you said that you have two kids. You said that you
Yeah.
recently divorced, and you said that it's been a hard transition for you and them, a lot of big feelings. It seems like they are struggling with delaying gratification, and then you struggle to keep yourself cool, to keep yourself calm. Did I hear everything right?
Yeah. Yes. And I just feel like I don't get to separate. Like, are they acting like this because of what happened last year? Are they acting like this because they're being the total teenagers? Where do I don't want to lose my shit, but I lose my shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Okay.
only way they'll understand. I'll tell them 15 times and it's just, no, it doesn't work.
Okay. So how old are they? You say they're teens.
My son will be 15 in September. My daughter will be 14 in February. So 14 and 13.
13 and 14. So they are teenagers. They are kind of at an age that you're like, okay, we've been talking about this for way too many times. You should know better what's going on. Is that what's going on in your head?
Well, I feel like we all know what we need to do. We all know what the outcome is. Mm-hmm. We all know if this doesn't get done, then the mean me comes out. No one cares.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, how would you like me to support you during this time? Like at the end of our time together, what do you want to specifically get out of this time with me?
I guess to get maybe more tools and maybe give me a different approach, because clearly whatever I'm doing is not working. Mm-hmm. And maybe just make me understand how to be a better mom.
Okay. So you want to gain awareness, understanding of where you are at in your parenting, maybe a few tools and open your perspective to a new approach. So what's the outcome that you want?
I feel like sometimes if he does something, I lose my shit and then I wait a little. I'm like, well, it wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. Like I remember myself at 14. Like how bad can it be? But at that particular moment,
okay, so in the moment, you are not able to access your logical thinking. You react. Your nervous system just reacts to it. Yes.
I'm like level 10.
Yeah. And then afterwards is when you reflect and you're like, hey, but it wasn't such a big deal how it felt to my nervous system at the time. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Okay. And then, but also I feel upset. Like I don't want to yell at my children.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I want to find a different way. I want to find a different approach. Like they're good kids, but I just wanted to get a different approach.
Yeah. Okay. Let's work towards it. So, could you please walk me through the last time that you ended up in that situation, that you yelled, like you reacted? It was like a gut reaction, and then you were like, oh, no, I should have handled it better. I think I would have done this. I would have, like, could you please walk me through the last time that this happened? And we go from there.
I guess this morning where my daughter, I take her to school. It's like literally 5-minute walk, but she likes when I drive her and I love spending time with her. So we chit chat and, we talk. So whatever the 7 minutes that we're in the car, we talk. She can easily walk to school. She doesn't like to walk to school. And I'm like, you know what? I feel guilty sometimes. So I take her. If we leave at 7:10, we miss all the traffic and she's in school on time. But it's like every morning that is like a struggle. So today she came down at 7:20. Her school starts 7:35. So now at 7:20, we're stuck in traffic because everybody wants to get to school. And I keep telling her, like, this is why. Like, I keep waking you up 14 times. You don't want to get up. Back and forth. And she was just being not very nice in the car. And I'm like, I have to do this. So I made a U-turn. I went back home. I said, now you can walk to school. Like, I don't have to do this to you. And she cried and she was upset. And she ended up walking to school and she was late to school today. But then I felt like shit. Like, I don't want to start my day with my daughter this way.
Okay.
I should acknowledge my time that this is important. I have an alarm clock for her. I wake her up. We have, I make her go to bed early. What else am I supposed to be doing?
Okay. I get it. Okay. So today it was a time that she went back. She came downstairs at 7:20 and you guys are supposed to leave at 7:10. When she came downstairs and it was 7:20, how did you feel inside?
Like shit.
So what is that feeling? If you were to name a feeling, what would that be?
A failure that I did not make it happen again.
That you were a failure or that you were failing, or what was the story in your head?
Both.
Okay. So I am a failure is not a feeling. I am a failure is a belief. And it's a belief that you have about yourself. This is a belief that did not start when your daughter came late, went downstairs at 7:20. This belief started a long time ago.
Well, like I got up earlier to work out, so I woke her up at 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I was watching her, like she wasn't getting up. So I was like, again, like I didn't make it happen. Like,
Yeah.
what else am I supposed to do? I keep telling her, I keep making sure that she gets up on time. And it's like, she does
Okay.
whatever she wants to do.
Okay, I get it. So Alexandra, so when she came down and it was 7:20, and then you are telling yourself, hey, this behavior means I'm a failure. You are judging yourself. When you are in that headspace and in that heart space, what's your default response? This is not judgment here. I'm a parenting coach. I want to know what your internal experience is and what your interaction is with your daughter to be able to help you move forward.
I didn't really say anything else. I just like said, like, let's just go in the car. Like, let's just go. I wasn't happy. I wasn't smiling, but I wasn't mean or rude. I didn't say anything. Like,
Okay.
just needed to keep going.
Okay.
Because after her, I take my son and then I go to work. So it's like, we have to keep moving.
Okay.
But
So
it was written all over my face. Like, I wasn't happy.
okay. So it was at that moment you did not access your voice. You had this belief of I'm a failure. I'm very curious about what that feeling is. I wonder if it's disappointment of yourself, or I wonder if it's like, what is that feeling attached to that belief?
I think it's a disappointment for both, for myself and for my daughter. Like,
Okay.
we're almost in June.
Okay.
We've been practicing this for a long time. And,
Okay.
we can't keep getting it right.
Okay. So there was disappointment. Was there any other feeling, a more tender feeling besides disappointment?
No.
Okay. And then what do you think impaired you to use your voice at that particular moment?
Because I felt like I was already heated up when she didn't get up on time. I was already
Okay.
heated up when she didn't come on time.
Okay.
Now we're in a car, I'm upset, and she doesn't start. Like, she was being a little bit rude, disrespectful in the car. And I was like, that's it. Like, it's like a boiling point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, let's take a deep breath. Thank you for your vulnerability and thank you for sharing your story with me. Okay, so what I'm trying to unpack is to know what's impairing you to use your voice when you're upset, when you are feeling disappointment of yourself and of her. What is impairing you at that moment to exercise your voice?
Why do I do it?
No, because you said that when she came down, you did not say you felt disappointment. So let's go back to the original intention. You want to have understanding of what's keeping you in reactivity. You want to have a better approach and to have better tools to connect with your daughter or your kids at the moment of frustration so things don't escalate. So the way to go there is to see what's impairing you to use your voice early, because that's what I see here. What I see here is that you keep things to yourself. I see that you judge yourself and you beat yourself up for your kids' behaviors. It's kind of like you're taking it very personal.
But I feel like as a single mom, it's very common.
This is the thing. And then again, I'm not in a coaching process with you, so I don't know what your narratives are. But when we grew up in traditional environments, we develop beliefs, and these beliefs carry with us in our parenting. So, for example, right now I see a belief that you have about yourself of I am a failure. It's not that I believe that about you. You believe that about yourself. And this belief was created in childhood. And when we carry this belief from childhood, which we will carry it if it's formed in childhood, then it's going to show up in your parenting. And these beliefs, not the interaction with your kids, not the fact that you're a mom, these beliefs is what creates feelings of maybe guilt or disappointment or shame, not necessarily the interaction with your kids. And it's what's impairing us to use our voice early, what's impairing us to connect with them in a way that even though if we are angry or maybe a little frustrated or even a little annoyed, we can still access our voice. What keeps us from using our voice are those beliefs. So, what people call mom guilt is really the belief system working through us when we are parenting. And this happens usually when parents grew up in traditional environments. In coaching, we help parents work through those belief systems. So when they show up in a parenting scenario, then the narrative is different. So if the narrative is different in their minds, then they're able to engage with their kids differently. And guilt is not necessarily there because the narrative is different. They're not coming from a belief of this means I am a failure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alexandra, and I promise you that it's connected and we're getting somewhere. Okay. It is important to see how you are interacting with your subconscious mind first to be able to move to what to do with the kids at the moment. Would you be open for me to educate you on behavior levels?
Sure.
Okay. So there are 4 behavior levels. Behavior level number 1 is the trigger. So you said that for you, the trigger is when you saw your daughter that she didn't get up when you told her to get up. So when we feel triggered, we may feel a little frustrated, annoyed. And then if the need is not resolved there, then we escalate to behavior level number 2, which is anxiety. And then the behavior is a little more enhanced. And then defensiveness. Then we get oppositional with our kids. Same way from them towards us. And then the last level is the lashing out, the yelling and all, the acting out behavior. This goes just not for us, but for our kids as well. Okay? So I'm saying that to say that the way to have an easier time with our kids is when we are able to catch it early and use our voice early instead of later. When you keep your voice and you don't express your needs and feelings, then the emotions are going to keep stuffing in your system and then they're going to come out as reactivity later on. Does that make sense?
Say that last part again.
When we stuff down our emotions and we don't communicate our feelings and needs early enough, when we are triggered, let's just say when your daughter wakes up late, you said that you didn't see anything, you just went to the car and then things escalated. When
But I opened the door to tell her at the beginning, like, we need to be on time.
Okay.
So please get up.
Okay.
It's in the morning.
Okay, so how would you communicate what you are feeling at that moment? You communicated the expectation. Let's talk about how can we communicate our feelings and needs at that moment. Let's reframe this.
I don't know. How would you do it?
Okay, you said that you felt frustrated when you woke her up and she didn't get up. If you were to communicate your feelings with, I feel blank when I blank, how would that be?
Annoyed.
I feel
annoyed
when
it doesn't get up.
I feel when I need. I feel annoyed when I need. What do you need at that moment?
I want her to listen and do it. I need action.
Okay, so you need collaboration.
Yes.
Okay, so I feel annoyed when I need collaboration and I don't see it happening.
Correct.
Okay, what would you request from her? How can we
make sure it happens?
Okay, so collaboration. Collaboration is working together towards a goal. So how can we work together so
it happens?
what's the end goal? So we get to school on time. And we miss the traffic and we are not stuck in traffic and you get to school on time.
Right.
Okay, so I know teenagers look like little adults, but they're not. They're teens and they don't have the foreseeing thinking that we do. We live in the future with our developed brains because we have that skill to support us in our prefrontal cortex. We are able to anticipate what's going to happen. Teenagers don't have that. They're still developing their prefrontal cortex, and they are developing their task management skills, their time management skills, and their foreseeing of consequences if things don't happen at the time that they're supposed to be happening. You know, I know that you say, hey, I've been talking to them a bunch of times about this. Now, it is important to remind them a lot of the times, not just of the expectation of I need you to be on time, but to express your feelings. I feel when, to express your needs. I need collaboration. And then to make a clear request with the why of the request.
Why is it a request?
The reason of why it's important to follow through with the request. Otherwise, they would not see it as easy as we would see it. It's obvious to us that if we don't leave at 7:20, we're going to get stuck in traffic. They forget. Teens forget because our priorities are not their priorities. They're not.
Yes, that's true.
So, Alexandra, I think we went another route, but this is my encouragement to you. I see that you're a good parent, and I see that you are a parent who is trying to do good, to do well, and you are doing a good job. Where I see that you're stuck right now, from my observation of the time that I was with you, is that you have judgments about yourself, and those judgments are impairing you to use your voice early. And when I'm talking about using your voice, means to voice your feelings, to voice your needs, and to connect and communicate with your children from that emotional exchange instead of getting stuck on the expectation of them. So, moving forward, how do you see yourself interacting with yourself first and then with your children when the alarm clock goes off and then they don't get up on time?
I think, like, I had a conversation with her tonight, and I think I'm going to have another conversation with her in the morning. And I feel like I just need to stick to my decision. Like, I already told her today, if you're not coming down at 7:10, I'm not driving you. So the fact that I turned around and came home today, now she knows I'm really not going to take her.
Okay, so she might need help following through because she didn't come down at 7:20. That does not mean that she can follow through. How would I say this? I know she's a teen, and this is what's tricky about teenagers, that because we see them big, then we might think that they know better, but they're really developing like their task management, and task management is a skill that is very, very new to them, and it will keep developing until 25. So I encourage you to challenge your thinking instead of like she won't. It's like, is it that really that with the support, the tools she has, the skills she has, is it really that she's able to manage her time and manage her tasks? So she's downstairs at 7:20. So are you open to another suggestion?
Sure.
Okay. So when you talk to her, talk about, instead of the expectation and the consequence, talk about the system that you can set up or you can agree to set up so she's successful. Because right now she's not successful. And then just announcing the consequence might not be what she needs to be successful. What support system you can place around, or you can collaborate with her so she is successful managing her tasks versus time.
I think that may be something I should talk to her about and see how we can make it better. I mean, like, we already put an alarm clock for her, and we'll just figure out what other steps that we can both come up with to make her, win that goal.
Okay. You know, one thing that goes a long way with teens, if you have, I don't know what the quality of your attachment with her, but if you do have a good connection and quality of attachment with your daughter, come into the room with a few cuddles and possible hugs and just wake.
We've
Okay.
tried so many things. First, she says, "Come
Okay.
in, and just turn my light on. We tried that.
And then what?
Then she'd come in and then just lay with me for 2 seconds. We did that.
Okay.
Then she just come in and sing my favorite song. We did that.
So what happened?
When she's awake, she'll promise me the world. She really, really wants to be on time. But she loves to sleep. So in the morning, she's not the same.
When does she go to sleep? What time does she go to sleep?
She goes to sleep between 9 and 10.
Okay. So she wakes up at what time? 7? No.
6:45.
6:45.
She should be getting up at 6:45. It's at 7 hours.
Okay, she needs more hours. Teenagers need more hours.
No, that's enough. No, it's from 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30.
Okay. Because I'm wondering if she's not awake enough.
And on the weekend she sleeps till 12.
Okay. Here it says 10 hours per 24 hours. Yeah, I knew because she's in her brain pruning stage.
She's not sleepy when she goes to bed. You know, like she has other activities, like her basketball only ends like at 8:45.
Okay.
She needs to come home. She needs to shower.
Okay.
Like she has other activities during. I agree with you. When she was in elementary school, like they were all down by like 7:45.
Yeah.
But now she's in middle school. They have so much stuff that goes on.
Yeah, I know. I have 8-year-olds, and then they go to soccer practice, and they come. Well, they come around 7. Yeah, but I wonder if it is that she just needs a little more time, or I'm just curious, what's keeping her from getting up? Because you said that she's very sleepy. Is it that she's very sleepy, or that she's just like taking her time to get up? Which one of the two? Okay. Okay.
She has her like routine. She wants to get up and she wants to sit for like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And then she'll try to do something else.
Okay.
Then she has her routine. But you know what? She's very similar to me. But I only started to realize at my like later age, like at 45 now, that okay, if I need to get up at 7, I'll put up my alarm like for 6:40 because I need that little extra time to just wake up.
Okay. So I think you have a good strategy for yourself. Would you apply that strategy with your daughter as well?
We're trying, and now we're almost in June.
Okay.
I don't want to yell at my children.
Okay. Have you have a conversation with her about what could work and why is not working what you've tried?
When we talk, when she's awake, she's like, we'll try it again. But when she's asleep, she's like it's very hard for her to just do it. But I'll try your way. I'm going to talk to her more and see if it helps.
Okay. Well, what I would see is more than talking to her and placing expectation and consequence is to set up a system more than.
You mean like a reward chart?
Not a reward chart. No, just a system for her to be able to see from this time to this time, I do this, from this time to this time, I do that. And for her to be able to check her progress, but not with rewards attached to it, that could work.
So don't reward her?
No, because then the reward is going to be was the desire instead of building the habit of her being responsible over her routine. The desired outcome was going to be the reward. And when this is not a desirable thing anymore, you're going to have to increase the reward. That's how rewards work.
I think that's one of my mistakes too, because before I used to say to her, like, okay, if you get up on time, we'll go to Starbucks before school or whatever. Well, kids do that all the time. And she doesn't always do it all the time because she doesn't always want Starbucks every morning then.
Oh, okay. So maybe she's expecting for the reward.
I can't win.
No, you can.
Yeah, I need to.
Yes, I think you have a great daughter and you're a good mom. I think that here it's a matter of seeing what system works for her needs. I'm still wondering if she's getting enough sleep. Just because here I Googled it and the first thing that popped up was 10 hours for a 13-year-old. I'm not a medical professional, but I do know that teenagers need more sleep than adults just because they're in their brain pruning stage. Their brain pruning stage is that basically your daughter is pruning away neurons, neural connections in her brain, and that happens at this stage of her life. And that repercutes with behaviors. They get what people call lazier, they drag their feet more. They almost seem like a different kid compared to when they were 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And that's part of their brain pruning stage. They need more scaffolding. Scaffolding is breaking down little tasks. Again, seeing how she can manage tasks by little increments. Maybe she needs your help at that time. Hey, baby, do you want me to help you get up? I could help you get up. Maybe she needs you to physically pull her up out the bed in a gentle way and get her started. And then you can continue with the morning routine.
Maybe. I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try it all.
Yeah. But the most important thing, more than the strategy, is what is here. What is here right now, from what you told me, is I'm a failure. What is true about you?
I guess because I feel like we can have a perfect day in our head and then it doesn't work out. So then, of course, you would think that, that it's on you.
What is true about you? You are what?
I mean, I'm not a failure. I'm doing the best I can.
Mm-hmm. You're a good mom.
Yes.
Yes. And because your daughter is in her brain pruning stage and dragging her feet, that doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job.
Yeah, I guess I really needed to hear that loud.
You are a good mom. I think we just need to figure out if she's getting enough hours of sleep. And number two is the support systems, how we can scaffold her for her a little bit more instead of focus so much of the I won't take you to school, the consequence. I don't think that's the route. That will increase anxiety and is going to increase her bad mood in the morning, if anything. And your bad mood. And now things are going to escalate and you're going to see more tension with that strategy.
Yeah, I get it.
So, what did you get out of this time with me?
I mean, some clarity for sure. Obviously the reward system and also the punishment in a way like she's going to have to walk. So I have to, present it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's more in my head than it's really in the reality, I feel.
Mm-hmm. How I said in the beginning, I see that you take their behaviors as a measure of your worth as a mother. And as I said,
Don't
yes.
we all?
No. Know when you know that every behavior communicates a need. And if children behave the way they behave, is because they have developmental needs. Right now, I see a big one, the brain pruning stage, because they have emotional needs, because they have physical needs, and they have nothing to do with who we are as parents. When we understand that and we are able to see our children's needs, we don't leave ourselves in guilt. We don't leave our motherhood in guilt. And I've seen it with me, with our coaching clients in HIC parenting. When we truly understand what's beneath the behaviors, which is always some kind of need or lack of skill that our children need to learn, we start living motherhood in a lot more freedom and peace.
Interesting.
Yeah. The thing is that I know it feels boring to you, possibly because that's been your reality for 13 years. That's how you've lived your motherhood journey, beating yourself up every time that your children don't listen or every time that you don't get to school on time. Then everything is falling on Alexandra. Is you. You're the failure. You're failing. It's your fault. It's your fault. And it is not.
I'll take it.
It is not. It's just like we need to figure out how to help these kids. What are the needs?
Yeah.
What are the lacking skills? It has nothing to do with me. It's just them and their process. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, you're going to do great. And would you come back at least on DM and let me know how things go from now on?
Of course. Yes. Yes. For sure, I will. me.
Thank you so much for being on our
Thank
podcast.
you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Did this podcast episode gave you an aha moment, an understanding of your older kids' emotions, behaviors? Did it help you in some way? Would you leave us a positive review? All you have to do is go to the description, let us know how this podcast episode could help you in your parenting or how the overall experience has helped you in your parenting. That will help us get a lot to allow more parents. Remember that it only takes understanding of yourself and of your children's needs to transform your parenting. That's Parenting with Understanding. I'll see you next time. Bye.